Looks like most people have joined in. Awesome. Let's get started. It's Monday, 10 p.m. here in Norway. That means time for our Heart Brain Coherence session. And the theme for this week is dealing with becoming overwhelmed. And like I said, it could be, for example, about being overwhelmed by all the things you have to do before Christmas, something like that. Or like I heard today and I experienced today as well, is getting overwhelmed with work. Um, I had a moment at work where I got contacted by a lot of colleagues, almost all at the same time. Seb, can you do this? Seb, can you do that? And I was like, whoa, what's happening all of a sudden? And what can happen then? Well, you can act like maybe you were used to, which is maybe shutting down, can't handle it, can take the information, wanting to help everybody at the same time, but it's not possible. Or if you do heart brain coherence technique, what many people experience is that they can deal with such situations of all of a sudden stress much better by having sort of a distance from what is happening and being able to have a better overview over the situation. So my old self would shut down, would say, oh, stop, can't take this anymore, close any chat channels or to put your phone down. But what I did was, okay, I said to my colleague, okay, I don't have time right now, but I write it down and I will come back to it later. And that's a decision you can make if you practice meditation. Some people do this by themselves, other people use meditation to change their state of being, change their behavior in a way that is more beneficial for them. And in this case, for example, your colleagues, or in the case of Christmas, your family members. If they are stressing you out with all kinds of things and questions, and oh, should we do that? Should we do this? And you want to help them out with that. So, just some examples. So, when you get overwhelmed and you feel a trigger coming, that trigger is more noticeable. After a while, when you practice meditation, you will notice it yourself as well. Um, and when you notice that trigger coming up, or you notice the situation all of a sudden, you have you have the technique, you have the possibility to take a little break and react in a more beneficial way for you. So that's what we're going to practice today. I will not talk as much today because this is more of a mindfulness session. So what we're going to do, we start as usual by centering ourselves, a slight breathing technique to calm our nervous system down, and then we go into our heart space, we focus on our heart space, breathe through our heart, but we are not going to create any kinds of feelings, any emotions or anything like that. We just continue breathing through our heart. And what happens when we breathe through our heart, that's physically not possible, of course, but that kind of focus when you imagine breathing through your heart, that kind of focus you have on your heart at that time makes that your heart rate variability, the variation in your heart rate, becomes very coherent, becomes very harmonious. And that in turn also balances your nervous system. And your nervous system, your heart, all the other organs are connected. So your other organs also get in balance. So that's just by having a heart focused breathing technique. Also, the information flow throughout your nervous system gets optimized. Um, normally, or normally, usually your heart sends 5 times more information up to your brain than your brain down to your heart. And that information flow gets optimized as well. Hence the name of this technique, heart-brain coherence. So instead of creating feelings and emotions, like I said, we do something else. We would do just a mindfulness session. So we be quiet while we breathe through our heart. And after a while, everybody will notice thoughts coming up, feelings coming up, and you might also notice that your mind starts to wander off, that your thoughts that come up draw you with them. Don't punish yourself, that's normal that this happens, that you notice it is a good thing. I will say extra point for you, and then you get back to your heart, breathe through your heart, and let the thoughts go. I will help you during that session where I'm quiet with my little singing bowl over here. So which I will just, let me see, hit quietly every minute or so. And that is your cue to just get back to your breathing through your heart again. And you will also notice maybe when I do that, oh, I was again drifting off with my thoughts. So that's the practice for today. Okay. Shall we get started? Again, find a comfortable position. Make sure you have good enough support. And let's start by centering ourselves. And we do that by taking a nice deep inhale through our nose. And breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose again. Breathe out through your mouth, lower your shoulders, loosen your jaw, close your eyes. Let the day go. Take another nice deep inhale through your nose. Out through your mouth, feel yourself getting centered and let the day go even more. Just focus on this self-love, self-care, some time for yourself. One more time, good deep inhale through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth and relax. And breathe normally. And try to breathe a little slower and a little deeper than usual. So breathe a little slower and a little deeper than usual. And this is just to tell your body that it is in a safe place. And notice where in your body you feel your breath the most. Maybe you feel your breath the most in your nostrils. Or maybe you feel your breath the most in the back of your throat. Or maybe you feel your breath the most in your chest or your tummy. Just notice where you feel your breath the most. Put your attention on that spot, on that point where you feel your breath the most. Put your focus there and notice how you are breathing through that point. Notice the colder air flowing in, the warmer air flowing out. And just make a mental note of breathing through that point. Just make a mental note of how that feels. Because now I want to move that focus point to your heart space. So move your awareness into your heart space. Move that focus point there. You can help by putting your hand on your fingers on your chest, right there where your heart is. And I want you to imagine that you are breathing through your heart. The same way as you were breathing through that point where you felt your breath the most. I want you to now breathe through your heart. Just imagine it. Same tempo, nice and slow, and a little deeper than usual. Breathe through your heart. And keep doing that throughout the session. I'm going to be quiet now for 5 to 6 minutes. And just continue breathing through your heart. Focus on that point. Focus on your heart. Keep breathing through your heart. And every minute or so, you will hear this sound from my singing bowl. And that is your cue to get back to breathing through your heart. So if you have noticed that your mind has wandered off, your thoughts are all of a sudden all over the place, that little sound from the singing bowl is your cue to get back to breathing through your heart. And then you focus on breathing through your heart again. And remember, don't punish yourself if you notice that your mind has wandered off. That's normal. And after you practice this for a while, you will notice that the space between each thoughts become bigger and bigger. And your meditation practice becomes better and better. Okay, so keep breathing through your heart. I will sound the bowl. And keep breathing through your heart. And we do that for a couple of minutes. Okay, very good. Now let's slowly get back, just by noticing the room you are in, becoming aware of the room you are in, noticing any sounds in the room. Breathe normally. Just take a nice inhale, and as you exhale, move your body slowly back and forth from side to side. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes, maybe wiggle a bit with your fingers and toes. Welcome back, welcome back. All right. Great work, everyone. So I hope that went well for you, that you managed to stay focused on breathing through your heart, nice and calm, just to give your uh, nervous system, your heart, your brain, let it all come in a nice balance. And you might have noticed, of course, thoughts coming up. Maybe you ended up with your mind all over the place, who knows? And then you have your help with that little sound, that little um, ring from the singing bowl to bring you back again to breathing through your heart. Um, Whenever you noticed your mind had wandered off. So, and again, if you practice this enough, you will notice those gaps between thoughts, between feelings and thoughts, becoming longer and longer, bigger and bigger. And that's when you get into deeper meditative states. Um, so, again, if you're just starting with meditation and you do this exercise, don't worry about thoughts coming up. It's not the aim of meditation to not have any thoughts. But you might wonder after a while as well that those thoughts have a certain theme. So you get to know your thought pattern a little bit as well, which is nice. If you get to know your thought pattern or your patterns of your feelings, you also get to learn more about yourself. So a lot of nice beneficial things when you do meditation. And again, like we started with, if you get stressed at work, if you get overwhelmed during the day, especially now with Christmas coming up and everything has to be done, everything has to be come into place, you can do this technique, especially in the morning. And like I said, like I saw as well, this is also a wonderful meditation to do after work in the evening, just to calm down before you go to bed. So, but a nice technique to do every day. Okay, thank you so much for joining. We'll be back again next week on Monday, same time, for another Heart Brain Coherence session, different theme. And if you have a question or a suggestion, or you want to do a specific kind of meditation, maybe not even Heart Brain Coherence, but something else, contact me and we'll try to figure something out for next week. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for joining. Take good care. Have a wonderful rest of your day and evening. And namaste. Be safe.